Katy Perry fans, get ready to flutter your wings feeling like you on top of the world only to have the whole thing threaten to collapse mid-performance. During her Prismatic World Tour in 2014, toward the end of the tour, the butterfly prop started to show its age. And during a concert in New Zealand, the unthinkable happened. This wasn't the only close call that Katy had during her tour. Oh no, our next story involves none other than the one and only Lady Gaga. Even the biggest rock stars are not immune to stage mishaps. During a concert in 1984, Sammy was performing his signature move, jumping into the arms of the crowd. But this time, it went horribly wrong. In 2003, a young girl was killed when a pyrotechnician launched a massive fireball into the crowd during a Linkin Park concert in Texas. The girl's name was Jessica, and she had been standing near the stage with her friends when the accident happened. These artists don't let a little thing like falling objects or stage dives stand in their way. It's time to wrap up our look at Katy Perry's scary stage mishap. Stage productions are incredibly complex and there are so many moving parts. Take a moment to appreciate all the hard work that goes into making that experience possible. And let's hope that the only thing that flies out of control is the confetti, both literally and figuratively. From lighting to sound to special effects, everything has to work perfectly in order for the show to go on. And when something goes wrong, it can be a major headache. But that's why there are dedicated teams of professionals who work tirelessly to make sure that everything runs smoothly. They're the unsung heroes of the entertainment industry, the ones who make sure that when a giant butterfly prop starts to malfunction, the star is lowered to safety and the show can go on. When her floating butterfly nearly plummeted to the ground during one of her concerts, as we've seen, she escaped unharmed, but it was still a close call that could have ended in disaster. But hey, mistakes happen, and thankfully no one was hurt. Katy's team reacted quickly and lowered her to safety. And she was even able to joke about the incident afterwards. They give their all every night and entertain us despite the danger. So, the next time you're at a concert, take a moment to appreciate the performers who give everything to put on a great show. The fireball was supposed to be shot straight up into the air, but instead it arced toward the audience and landed on Jessica. Subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest news and gossip. Thank you for watching. Till next time, stay safe and don't forget to hold on tight to your hats. Who was standing in the wrong place at the wrong time? The fire ignited the girl's jacket and she suffered severe burns. Despite the efforts of her friends and medical personnel, Jessica died 2 days later. The tragedy was a shock to the music industry and a devastating loss for the family. But it also raised important questions about the safety of pyrotechnics at concerts. Instead of being lifted up and passed around, Sammy was dropped and landed face first on the concrete floor. From falling objects to unexpected stage invasions, there's always the potential for disaster. But hey, that's all part of the thrill, right? Being at a concert is an exhilarating experience, and the risks are just part of the package. Just make sure you hold on tight to your hats and keep your eyes peeled for flying debris. You never know what might come raining down on you next. He suffered a broken nose and several missing teeth, but he still managed to finish the show. Talk about dedication. Take a look at Iggy Pop, the godfather of punk rock himself. During his performance at the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival in 2016, Iggy decided to jump into the crowd and mosh with the best of them. But as he was being tossed around like a rag doll, he accidentally bit off the tip of his middle finger. Yikes. Despite the pain and the blood, Iggy continued to perform for the next 30 minutes until his bandmates convinced him to seek medical attention. The show must go on, right? You know, the woman who can turn a meat dress into a fashion statement? Well, during her Monster Ball tour in 2009, Gaga was performing her hit song Poker Face when things took a turn for the worst. The stage was set with a giant meat cleaver prop hanging ominously above Gaga as she belted out the lyrics. But little did she know that it was about to fall and almost land on her head. Luckily, her dancers were able to step in and block the cleaver before it could do any damage. Talk about a close shave. Oh no. In another incident, she almost took a tumble off the stage while performing her hit song Roar. You know, the one where she jumps off a platform and lands on a smaller stage in the round. Well, in this case, Katy's foot slipped off the platform and she almost fell flat on her face. But luckily, she was able to catch herself and regain her balance before anyone in the crowd noticed. Talk about a nail-biting moment. As Katy was being lifted into the air inside the butterfly, the prop suddenly started to malfunction, started to tilt dangerously, and it looked like it was about to crash to the ground. In another incident, British singer Adele had an even more dramatic experience during her tour in 2017. She was performing her emotional ballad When We Were Young when a heavy metal fan was released from a Zippo holder on stage and hurtled towards the audience. The fan hit Adele squarely in the face, knocking her off balance and leaving her with a black eye. Ouch! Despite the pain, Adele soldiered on and finished the show, but she later took to Twitter to express her frustration. She wrote, "Zippo, what are you doing? Okay, my face, my show tonight, but I'll be effing fabulous." Okay, now that's what we call a true performer. But thankfully, Katy's team was able to quickly react and lower her down to safety. No, seriously, they were literally lowering her down with a rope. According to reports, the butterfly prop had a hydraulic problem which caused it to become unbalanced. Thankfully, Katy was okay, but the incident definitely made everyone on stage and in the audience nervous. Katy Perry decided to go all out with her stage design. And one of the most impressive elements was a giant 20-foot butterfly prop that could fly through the air and even float underwater. The butterfly was controlled by a team of puppeteers, and it became one of the most memorable parts of the show. But as they say, all good things must come to an end. Well, that's exactly what happened to Katy Perry during one of her concerts. As she was floating around the stage in her glittery butterfly wings, the giant prop suddenly started to malfunction, causing it to nearly plummet to the ground. But thanks to Katy's quick reactions, she was able to escape unscathed. Just imagine the scene. Thousands of screaming fans, a giant butterfly on the verge of collapse, and Katy Perry hanging on for dear life. It's enough to make anyone's heart race. Because today we've got a video that will make you feel like you've reflying high in the sky, with Katy only to plummet to the ground at the speed of light. That's right. In this video, Katy Perry nearly takes a nosedive during her show after her floating butterfly malfunctioned. But don't worry, she escaped unscathed. So let us take a closer look at what happened and how she managed to save herself from certain doom. Imagine being suspended high above the stage in a giant butterfly costume. So let's rewind a bit and see how this near disaster unfolded. And unfortunately, that also applies to giant flying butterflies. But hey, at least there was a happy ending, right? But wait, there's more. But Katy's not the only pop princess who's had some crazy stage mishaps. But Gaga's not the only one who's had some dangerous encounters with falling objects. But these mishaps aren't just limited to pop divas. But if you think that's bad, just wait until you hear what happened to Van Halen frontman Sammy Hagar. But sometimes these mishaps can be even more serious. But despite these accidents, live music continues to be a dangerous business. In the meantime, though, let's take a moment to appreciate the bravery of performers like Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Adele, and Iggy Pop. Well, folks, but this event also gives us a chance to look at the amazing technology and engineering that goes into putting on a great concert. So next time you're at a concert, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.